Hello everyone, my name is Mccain Terry and my group, Liu Yuhan, Li Ling and also Guo Liang, we were sharing about the story of the leader we admire, Tan Sling Dato Li Shen.
Hi everyone, I would like to introduce the background in this part. The central figure in this report is Tansi Dato Dr. Li Cheng. He is a renowned business magnate, palm producer, and processor. Also, he is a property developer, investor, and philanthropist in Malaysia and the world. His industries span many areas. He is best known as the founder of the LI Group. He departed this life in 2019. However, his industries and influences remain spread across Malaysia and into Asia, Europe, and America. His contributions are still present in the community. I divided this part into 6 sections. They are childhood and upbringing, entrepreneurship and development, unique choices and version, leadership style and values, social responsibility and industrial impact, and the last one, future outlook and legacy. The first one is childhood and upbringing. Tansu Dato Dr. Li Cheng was born on an oil palm plantation and had to leave school at the age of 11 to support his family. He spent 4 years selling ice cream on his bicycle, gaining valuable experiences. After returning to school, he worked as a rubber plantation supervisor, owning his skills. The second one is entrepreneurship and development. In 1975, Li Cheng founded Lam Su House SDN and ventured into property development, starting with the Taiman Ma project. In 1989, he acquired Dunlop Estate, a significant milestone. Li Cheng expanded his ventures with multiple property development companies and township projects, aiming to build a vast empire encompassing plantations, manufacturing, and real estate. The third one is unique choices and the version. Li Cheng displayed astute decision-making by acquiring overlooked palm oil plantation and inducting palm plantation into oil growth. This strategy version proved IOI to become leading producer of virgin palm oil in Malaysia. He also capitalized on opportunity by touring around the struggling companies like Pamco Holding Berhad, establishing one of the largest oil chemical companies in Asia. The next one is leadership style and values. Li Cheng's leadership style was characterized by humility and willingness to listen to others' advice. He valued hard work, strategy vision, and wisdom. His personal dedication and vast experiences were instrumental in his success. Li Cheng exemplified his values by giving back to the community, especially in education, like contracting school and supporting future generations. Next page, please. Okay. Social responsibility and industrial impact. Li Cheng prioritized environmental protection within his business, ensuring compliance with national standards. He actively contributed to the development of the Chinese community and invested in various sectors. His oil palm empire significantly contributed to Malaysia's import-export trade and LI's products, including household goods and real estate developments, provided convenience and quality services to the nation and beyond. The last one is future outlook and legacy. Although Li Cheng passed away, His business are now led by his capable children, ensuring continuity and growth. LI Group is expected to thrive under their guidance. Meanwhile, the schools and educational funds he established continue to make a positive impact. Li Cheng's legendary life and his contributions to the oil palm industry, education, and the community remain deeply rooted in the heart of Malaysians. That's all of this part. Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to talk about three organization behavior topics that choose by my team and what is the lesson we learn from it. So the first one is the personality and values. So what is personality and values and why it is important to an organization? So the personality is something significant role where determines how the organizational behaviors they interact with others, making decision makings, handle conflicts, and also it also influence how these employees they contribute to the overall organization. So for me, I think our team learns that they have some personality that bring huge benefit if as a person if they possess this kind of personality. So the first one is a proactive personality. So what is proactive personality? The meaning of proactive personality is when someone, an individual, he or she willing to put extra efforts extra effort to enhance its knowledge, skills, and also other than that, without thinking about the short-term benefit, but instead is a long-term benefit. So this is the proactive personality. So in order to ensure the proactive personality, we must always to be persistent, which means we have to do something without easily giving up. And then second one is attention to details. So this is very important also. And the third one is always be efficiency, which means doing the jobs with the best performance. And then lastly is setting high standards, which means as a individual with proactive personality, we should always force ourselves to improve for a better standard. So continue to the value. So the value is about uh, what is right, good, or desirable. So, in other words, why values is important in OB because the values plays a crucial role in organization behavior because this is something that determine an individual and also organizational uh, goals to shape the norms and also expectation in a workplace. So, for example, like individual personal values align with the organization values. So this is about values in organization. So there are some values that is important, like in my opinion, is like honesty. Being honesty is quite important in organization because you have to like always be honest with your boss and also to your college. So in order to avoid mistake, misunderstanding during your job performance and also during your uh, presentations and report. So continue to the second topic. So the second topic is about leadership. So what is leadership? The leadership have a lot of definition. So in the very simple is the leadership is a skills where the individual have the ability to inspire and motivate individuals. So firstly, this is important to ensure a worker can reach his or her fully potential. So uh, what is the skills of a leadership that is very important. So firstly, the leader must possess uh, a very excellent interpersonal skill. So this is important for them to connect with their team, So they can have a uh, how to say, uh, to convince the team, to lead the team for a better future, for a better direction, and also for a better performance. Other than that, I think leadership also involve these two things, which is the great decision making and problem solving skill. So leadership is where a person have always make the best decision making when facing a problems. Uh, like for example, like what is the decision to reduce the budget, reduce the expenses in the organization, and then make it balanced. So it's something like that. So the second one is problem solving skill, which is as a leadership, as a leader, he or she must have the strong problem solving skills to avoid something un, uncertain lah. So the last one is a great communication skill. This is also important because in order to perform the great leadership, uh, a person must have a very strong communication skill, whether it's a verbal or non-verbal communication skill. So, for example, a leader is they need to be always give motivation to their workers, to their subordinates. So when the leaders have a good communications, he or she can always uh, inspire and also motivate them for a better performance, job performance, and also to give them uh that's all lah. So continue to the last one, which is the motivation concept. So for this topic, we have learned that there is two theories which can support this motivation concept. The first one is the Maslow hierarchy of needs, and then second. So this theory is focused on an individual. Uh, uh, their motivation comes from their strong desire or intention to fulfill their physically needs and also psychological needs. Physically needs is various example like foods, shelters, what else? Clothes. This is the basics need. And then psychology needs is like the sense of belongingness, love, and then what else? Uh, emotional needs. So this is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. The second one is Mccain theory of needs. So in this theory, Mccain focus on three aspects, which is the needs for power, needs for achievement, and also need for affiliation. So an individual have the motivation to perform even better in an organization due to he or she have a very strong desire to obtain uh, achievement, which is he or she, if he uh, hit the target of the KPI or even uh, way more better than the KPI. So he will acquire the sense of achievement when he completes something beyond the organization expectation. So continue to the needs of power. So this is where someone have a very strong intention to get the power in an organization, which means he or she really have the strong intention to how to say, have a fully control towards uh he or she's subordinates. This is about the powers, and then continue with the affiliation. This is more like recognition from peers, from friends, or even from employers and or employees, or even college. So uh, the motivation is determined by how intensity is, like how strong your willingness to obtain something. So the second one is the direction. What are you going to get? Like what are you going to achieve uh in a 1 year or 2 year or even 5 years? The direction. So lastly is the persistent. How long can you maintain your effort to achieve something? To Yeah, that is the persistent. So that's all for this what we have learned for OB topics.
So, the biggest contribution of Tan Sri Dato Lee is development of Puchong. The company of Tan Sri is IOI Property Group Berhad, is regarded as the city's primary builder today. The first significant municipality of Puchong was Bandar Puchong Jaya. A 374 hectare development began in 1990. Bandar Puchong Jaya is anticipated one of the most densely populated township today. Given that it was the first recombinant township to be developed in Puchong, the development of Bandar Puchong Jaya includes not only residents, although they were a building and also commercial center, and also banker center, and also industry center. So, further in 1996, the IOI Mall Puchong was the weekend gathering of choice from families and the source for local pride. Other than that, in 1999, Bandar Putri Puchong was established, and this located a three-quay township is located further from the city center. So the target market of the company is the residents who desire peace and quiet. They will choose to buy the property there. At the same time, the IY Properties Group is more additional to Puchong was Sisti Syara in Puchong South in 2010. Other than that, they also built a world-class Puchong Financial Compra Center. It's conducted within Bandar Putri Puchong. It's a South Sequoias. Demonstrate this Puchong commitment to the commercial development. The PFCC is a financial and business district with 4 office complex and 1 hotel. The business hotel is the 4 Point by Sheraton Puchong, a hotel of international renown that opened in 2014. The contribution of Tan Sri Dato Li actually is actively bring a very domestic and foreign bank to Puchong Jaya and Bandar Putri Puchong to promote the local economic development. As a result, Puchong has become the most complete town with the most domestic and foreign bank in Klang Valley. A total of 29 branches of 50 banks have opened here. Among them, there are 6 foreign banks and 9 local banks. It was once a battleground for the 4 major domestic hypermarkets, including Tesco, Giant, and Giant now is more to test Lotus and Jusco. And after that, they changed the name as Aeon. And lastly, for the addition information, Puchong has increased to 400,000 in 2016. So that's the most popular area in Selangor. So after the development, you can see a bit different before and after of Puchong. So this contribution we cannot ignore is from Tan Sri Li Jing. For the value for the contribution, I think a man bringing a big company to develop a place become a most popular area is very difficult. They have to cut out a very good strategy, and also they have to fight. So inside the report, we have mentioned about how to get the project, how to develop the project, and so on. Actually, it is not an easy job. A lot of people can attack. Some of the term and condition have to follow. But lastly, Tan Sri Dato Li has proved to us he can, and also the company bring a big contribute to our local economy.
Okay, there is a lot of things which can consider as the best takeaway for me in the future, from what I have learned in this course, organization behavior. So basically, there's 3 things which give me a lot of knowledge. The first one is the personality topic, and second one is the motivations, and the lastly is the circle of influence versus the circle of concern. So talk about the first one, personality. So what I have learned from this topic is from OB is personality is very important to examine who are we really is. So there's a lot of job that is require certain uh, personality. So some people they have certain personality that fits some specific jobs. Like for example, if you are going to become a salesman, you must always have a personality of uh, like extrovert, so on. So if you are a person with introvert personality, then you can choose the job that is less communications, like for example, what else? Uh, technicians or something like that. So a person personality can determine how well he perform in the job and also in the organization. So the personality also determines our emotion intelligence, the way we, like for example, the way we interact with our colleagues and so on. So continue to the motivation. Motivation is something very essential for me if we are going to work uh less exhaust during the jobs. Like I believe that if we are work for a very long time of period, we might lost the passions compared to the beginning of the working periods, like 1 years before or 3 years after that. So the motivation is something very important to ensure that we always perform in a very good quality uh, performance in an organizational in any fields of working fields. So the motivation, I think, it can be I think one of the best motivation is the willingness or desire or intention to survive. So I believe if we have a strong intention to survive, to get a good living standard, a better of quality of life, so that will motivate me to go even far, like always enhance my knowledge, skills, and so on. So continue to the last one, which is the circle of influence and also circle of concern. So what is circle of influence? Circle of influence is something we can directly change to it. So we have the absolutely power to change that certain thing. So for example, if I want to be a person that is more punctuality, so what I can do is I have to make a time management. So also I have to be very disciplined. So this is something is uh, within my control. However, the circle of concern is something that we have interest with it, but we have very limited very limited control or influence on it. So for example, if we talk about the currency of ringgit Malaysia is going to, I mean, the performance is getting worse. So this is something I am concerned about it. However, I can do very less influence on it as a citizen, as an individual. So as an individual, so this is what we talk about circle of concern. So I think I have learned from this OB from Mr. Mihan is we should put more attention and also effort in circle of influence because these are the things that we have the directly power to change and make ourselves a better person. So that's all from me. This is the best takeaway from OB this subject. Thank you.
Hi, have a good day, everyone. My name is Li Ling, and today I will be sharing about individual repressions. From MGM2113, organizational behavior is an especially important aspect to the human resource. Firstly, it's about behavior. Along to these 11 weeks, organizational behavior is the study about how people behave with other, whereas is in a group or personal. The personality of behavior is too important for an individual it will be help to person who is a leader to improve the quality of work performance and also motivate employees. So behavior also can determine how people engage and the ways of talking and communicate to others. So how they work together in a team to complete a task and also how they reach their goal together. It will be help whoever we are it will be help whoever we are a worker and also leader in the future. So besides that, planning and organizing is an important and this skill allow us to achieve the goal efficiently and also effectively. Being organized means that we know how to manage our time, like we said how like we said the how to do this and also do the all tasks properly. Then organizing is not like all tasks are in planning with the list and authority of responsibility. So as I mentioned about just now, we figure out the things that need to be done. Therefore, planning and organizing is a term that cannot be separate to reach the goal together. So now I will talk about the patience. So patience does not mean create commitments, but commitments create the patience. So when we talk about patience, automatically we will think about it is emotion, right? So we come in because of our patience, and we stay because of the responsibility. Apart from this, patience and commitment can establish the task to other. Here I will give a very short example. When we talk about how things need to be changed, and then we promise the change, how things need to be changed, but our promise and make those change happens. Then if we cannot do it as we promised, so the bad faith will be happens, and the trust to each other will be influenced. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Organizational behavior is a complex concept classified as a business project. It incorporates numerous other knowledge such as psychology, behavioral analysis, organizational leadership, and teamwork. As for me, MGM3113 has provided me with very practical knowledge and theories, not only for the future workplace, but I can currently use them in my life and studies as well. The most impressive chapter content was the matching of individuals to organizations. Whether it is a company, a government, or a school, all people need to work to integrate into the organization. As managers, they need to help match and lead employees and subordinates to the organization. Personality, preferences, motivation, emotions, perception, satisfaction, and treatment all influence the matching process. Identifying oneself in the organization and always maintain the right orientation is helpful for both oneself and the organizations. As an organization, it must contain both leader and the subordinates. The leader's decision correspond to the effectiveness of the subordinates. Decisions are influenced by many factors. Leaders may make decisions based on institution and limited rationality. Employees should also retain the right to question. Distinguish the difference between leadership and power. In the future, both as a leader and as an employee, I will always be aware of the development trend and the decisions deployed by the organization, the team, and the group. Everything is done with the bigger picture in mind. That's my word. A particular part of organizational behavior have been very helpful and influential for me personally. I have actually been suffering from bipolar disorder for 7 years. I was cleared by my doctor to return to school in 2021. Currently, I'm able to achieve emotional stability with regular online follow-ups and medication. The methods of regulating emotions and moods explored in organizational behavior have been a great help to me. I often try to use this method to self-regulate. I actively seek my own motivation and expectations to motivate myself to learn and live normally. After learning about self-effective reinforcement theory and expectancy theory, my perception of emotions and efficacy has become more profound. I set myself short-term goal was similar to benefits and pay in the workplace. And I have applied the work characters model to the learning process. I'm very grateful for the help MGM3113 has given me in my study and personal life. And thank you, Mccain. That's all.
So lastly, I was sharing about my self-reflection about MGM3113 organization behavior. After a 14th-week lecture, I learned a lot actually. From some of the topic, I learned more the importance of behavior. I think the behavior, they can build out a principle for yourself, and you can bring some the principle as a life value, and then this life value, you know what you can do, what you must do, and what you can't do. Other than that, from this course, I also learned about how to work as a team, about the leadership behavior, because this is important after you're getting work, getting job, and you involve yourself in the industry. You have to know how to communicate to people, how to make a team work to people. Human is work as a group member. We're very difficult to develop alone. So this is why a company, a big company, they have a lot of people inside there because we work in the same time, we work as together, we work as a team. So organization behavior teach you how to work inside a team and how to develop a team, develop the environment, develop yourself. So I think this is some of the much of the important value we must learn before we getting a job, and also they will pass to our next generation. So I truly agree. My lecturer Mehan said to us earlier, we're learning for the 14 weeks, but we use for the next 40 years. I think this is very true for me. Alright, so this all of our presentation, and I much appreciate it, and thank you to listening and also watching our presentation. Thank you very much, and bye bye.